Welcome back to the Midweek Update. Hey Mepham, we're here in week 7 of the coronavirus shutdown. This week, we are going to recap the B&B live game show and take a look at the newest Jacksonville Jaguar and Mepham graduate Tyler Davis. This and more as we take a look at what's going on this week on Midweek Update. I'm Haley Hepworth. And I'm Riley Freed, and welcome back to the Midweek Update, the B&B show that brings you closer to the people and places in and around the Mepham community. Throughout this shutdown, many first responders have been working hard to help those in need. Some people here in Bellmore have noticed their efforts and started to try to help out. B&B's Ava Scheffler goes in depth with how Bellmore resident Katie Virgona is helping out the healthcare workers here on Long Island.
The front line sacrifices so much to benefit our lives, and it's nice to know when someone in our community is doing something to give back to them. I sat down with Katie Virgona, a Mepham graduate who's doing just that.
Yeah, so I'm making bags for the hospitals because normally I'm a volunteer at Winthrop Hospital, and right now, as you may know, no one else but the doctors, nurses, and the healthcare team are allowed in the hospital. So I decided to make these bags because I can't get in there, so I wanted to make another way that I could help out with what was going on. So I actually started off on my own, and then I reached out to my friends and family just telling them what I was up to, and I received so many donations. I was so overwhelmed that they wanted to help me, so I was able to I started out with just 120 bags the first time, and I have been able to make over 1,000 now. When I was in Mepham, I was involved in a lot of organizations and clubs there, and specifically peer leadership was able to help me a lot because that really instilled in us, because that was a 2-year program when I was in it, to give back, and in times of need there's always something more that you can do. So through that I was able to take that with me. Now I'm a senior graduating college and I still have those values. Well, I think in general during this time all you really need is time to help others, because through this I was doing it based off mostly donations, so I didn't even have to do too much. I just needed time to go to the store and put the bags together and bring them around. And even for elderly neighbors or people in your family, a lot of people can't get to the stores. So even something small like that, like looking out for your neighbors, is something that the students at Mepham can do. I'm going to continue making these bags because so far I've been to 5 hospitals on Long Island. So I'm hoping that I can reach more and then maybe go into the city to like NYU and those hospitals. So I'll keep doing that. And before I go to PA school, I'm hoping that I can get back into Winthrop and the volunteer program will be running again.
I'm sure that so many people are so grateful for what Katie's been doing, and we're so proud to call her a Mepham pirate. Once a pirate, always a pirate. I'm Ava Scheffler with B&B, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Ava. It's great to see how people are helping out the first responders as they do their important work. Right. And that wasn't the only instance of people helping out recently. B&B's Lorrie DellaCroce looks at a new fundraiser called Project Pizza, which collects money to send pizza to hospitals, precincts, fire departments, and other places all around the country.
Every business has been affected by the COVID-19 outbreak. They've been forced to close, forced to start delivering, and some have even had to shut down for good. But there's a select few who have taken control of the chaos and helped the community. Brian O'Connor has been calling on these businesses and raising money to order pizzas to places like hospitals and precincts all over the country. Brian works as a supply chain analyst for an industrial and safety supply e-commerce, which means he deals with the buying and selling of hand sanitizers, masks, and safety equipment. Knowing the severity of the virus beforehand, he took it upon himself to create a new way to help out people in need.
So I started Project Pizza about a month ago, and my whole idea was, what can I do to make nurses, police officers, EMTs, anybody's day just a little bit easier. I knew I couldn't do too much. Like I couldn't provide them with N95 masks. I couldn't give them thousands of dollars, but I figured one less easy thing to worry about, which was just like a quick meal in between shifts when they're taking everything off. And pizza immediately popped into my head because everybody loves pizza. And I made a Facebook fundraiser, which completely took off. I started getting private donations through LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. We're at about $500 to $5,500 raised right now. We've sent over 500 pizzas, 100 catering trays, everywhere across the country. We're $250 away from the $3,000 Facebook goal. When I started it, we had a $1,000 total goal. We hit that in 2 days, made it 2,000. We hit that in 2 weeks. Now with 3,000, we're probably going to hit that, and that's all within a month. So it definitely took off a lot faster than I thought it was.
Brian and his two friends, Christian and Nick, have been working together with different pizzerias, planning on who, when, and where the pies will be delivered.
We're working with a few different local pizzerias right now. Our biggest one is Vincent's in Limbrook. I have a personal relationship with the owner, so he was right up, ready to volunteer. I called him up to send a bunch of pizzas to the NYPD First Precinct. Immediately said, I'm going to throw in 5 extra pies. I'm going to give you a huge discount. I'm going to do basically whatever I can to match the donation. So between them and our other big pizzeria chain that we've been using is Domino's, because they're everywhere. So they're across the country. So when I get requests in for Texas, California, Florida, Detroit, Arizona, you name it, like 9 times out of 10, there's a Domino's right there, and they're individually owned, and the franchise owners have been really awesome. Whereas I just give like my little speech, like, hey, I'm Brian from Project Pizza. We're sending to the hospital. They're always like, we're going to throw in 5 extra pies. We're going to cut the cost in half. So it's been really great.
The caterers have been a huge help to the movement, not only with their generosity, but with the deliveries. They themselves take the risk of infection by going directly to the location and dropping off the food with the group receiving the donation. These deliveries will continue for as long as Corona lasts.
Right now, the plan is to keep this up until hopefully coronavirus goes away. So it's at least another month or two. After that, I'd really like to continue it just based on how much it's taken off. It doesn't have to be to nurses, to police officers, you name it. It can be to kids in homeless shelters. It can be to anybody who needs it.
The feedback from the community has been so positive that Brian hopes they can reach out to more people that they don't have immediate contact with. This way, more people can share that feeling of helping someone.
I think it's been really good just from feedback that we've gotten. If you check out our fundraising page, some people send pictures with them with the pizza, and just some personal feedback, just thank you letters from the hospitals, thank you letters from the precincts, personal phone calls we've gotten, just like, hey, like this really made our day.
There are many new movements created due to Corona, but this pizza donation is one that's continuing to grow tremendously. And with the more donations it receives, the longer owner, Brian O'Connor, can continue to run what will be well known as Project Pizza. Reporting for BMB, I'm Lorrie DellaCroce.
So just a huge thank you to the local community and everybody who's donated, because this definitely would not be possible without them.
Thanks, Lori. Stories like these are good to hear as the shutdown continues. And another good story that has happened recently as the drafting Mepham graduate Tyler Davis into the NFL. BMB's Rocco Law sat down with the newest member of the Jacksonville Jaguars once again to see what's been going on with him after he was drafted.
It was just a few days ago that the NFL kicked off its virtual draft via Zoom on national television. One of the prospects looking to fulfill a childhood dream that day included former Mepham Pirates quarterback, now tight end, Tyler Davis. The redshirt senior from Georgia Tech patiently waited out as days 1 and 2 started to pass. On day 3, Davis finally received the call he had waited his whole life for.
Tyler, Dave Caldwell, General Manager of Jacksonville Jaguars. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I am not too bad. What do you think about coming and playing some tight end for us?
I love that. That was a dream come true.
Well, you're going to get drafted, man.
The Jacksonville Jaguars selected the 23-year-old in the 6th round of this year's NFL amateur draft. Before hearing his name announced on the biggest stage in sports, Davis was just like any other Mepham student athlete who never stopped the clock and took his abilities to the next level.
A lot of people didn't think I'd be able to do it, and I just worked as hard as I could every day. So whether that's you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, whatever you want to be, just give everything that you have for it.
He really taught us a lot about leadership and being so young at that time and getting to see someone that you knew was going to do great things. It's just an inspiration to the younger groups of kids moving up through the program. And he did a great job just being a role model.
Tyler Davis may have left Mepham, UConn, and Georgia Tech all with the same goal of becoming an NFL pro. However, now he's living it as a Jacksonville Jaguar. The 6'4" tight end from North Bellmore looks to get right to work and begin his NFL career.
In a normal year would be you get that draft day call and they got you on a flight the next morning down to Jacksonville to start getting to work. But in these times, these unprecedented times, nobody really knows what's going on. And hopefully we can get this coronavirus solved as quickly and safely as possible, so that we can get to the facility and because I can't wait to get down there and really get to work.
Reporting for BMB, I'm Rocco Law.
Thanks, Rocco. It's great to see a former Mepham student was drafted into the NFL.
Definitely. The NFL draft also was a great way for people to stay occupied while stuck at home.
And another fun activity for many was the B&B live game show last Friday.
B&B's Lily Yepez recapped this fun event and how it was put together. Throughout the recent shutdown, most people have been stuck in their homes while bored, while practicing social distancing. While B&B has been hard at work producing daily content, we realized not everyone has things to do while staying at home. So we decided to host a live B&B game show.
This is B&B's great Break the Cabin Fever game night.
I still think it's a long name.
But it really does roll off the tongue.
I guess.
We started out by reaching out to families in our schools and our own B&B talent to participate in the show. We had a game set up for the guests to compete in.
Well, what happened is Mr. Gomez sent emails to all the principals saying that you guys were doing this and they were looking for a family to participate.
I saw it through a school email that my parents got, and I emailed my principal, and then he emailed me back saying that he passed my information along to B&B.
Families from all 6 BMCHSD schools participated in the competition. Although a final score or winner was never announced, the contestants all had a good time.
I don't know. I mean, I liked every single part of it. I thought the color wheel was great. I loved the school spirit part.
I think watching all the teams run around their house is just so chaotic. So it was fun to see everybody's camera shaking so aggressively. It was just very, very enjoyable to watch. And also, is it true that you cannot pronounce MacArthur?
That was sophomore me. I have grown and achieved bigger things in life.
I'd like to prove yourself wrong, Michelle.
MacArthur? Wait, now I'm scared.
The Breaking the Cabin Fever game night was a great way for people to come together and have fun during the shutdown. Stay tuned to the B&B YouTube channel and social media accounts to find out more about live events like this in the future. For B&B, I'm Lily Yepez.
Thanks, Lily. That was a really fun night.
If you missed it, you can catch up on the fun on the B&B YouTube channel and stay tuned for future B&B live events.
So that's it for this week's Midweek Update. We'll be back next week with all new stories from around the BMCHSD to bring you inside the parts of the community we don't always get to see.
Until then, I'm Haley Hapworth.
And I'm Riley Freed, and we'll see you next Midweek.